Join me as I take on challenge of managing my ADHD without medication and share the ups and downs of my personal journey. But what it is ADHD? Did I was diagnosed with that? No, only by myself. Yes, this journey it has been very interesting. And I say interesting because I am unfolding all of the beauty, but also I'm unfolding all of the challenges that not only me, but a lot of people has with. How did it started? 2 years ago, I was not understanding that I was not focused on a meditation technique that I was doing. I used to sit, close my eyes, and just doing the techniques. And I was catching myself just being aware of I was out of what I needed to do it. And I was not understanding. I was like, why do I get distracted easily? That was the first question that I did it to myself. And I was not understanding how my brain was functional in that way. That's when I started researching how a person can be distracted by the thoughts. And that's what I do for a living. I coach people, I just hold the space for people to understand the subconscious mind, to reframe the belief systems and everything. But in that moment, I was not understanding the challenge of my brain. That's when I start researching. Oh, if you are not focused, if you are not grounded, if you get distracted easily, and that was the biggest things. I believe that you know that. And if you don't realize that, here's the opportunity for you to realize. That's when everything started. I started researching about the food, about how I can be focused on a task that I need to do it. And it was a basic thing, but not basic for me. It was just be present to do the meditation. That was going to be very good for my own journey. And in that moment, I started to realize that it was more than what I thought. And the first thing that I did it was about nutrition. Start researching food, starting researching, okay, what can I avoid that's going to bring me clarity? Which is another thing. ADHD people has struggled with clarity. Brain fog. Who doesn't know that? Right? And I was not understanding the indecisiveness of like picking one thing, but it was because I was not having clarity and clarity about little things. And if I was acknowledge the little things, think about the bigger picture of something. And probably by now you are identifying with myself. You are identifying with the words that I am expressing about the challenges. And the first thing that I noticed that was the drug that I was putting in my brain, which it is sugar. Yes, sugar, it is the biggest drug that we can ever ask for. Not only for our kind of brain, but for everybody else, for everything else. And whenever I notice that, I say, okay, here we go. Let's make a detox for like 30 days. And that was like previous to my birthday. And then I did it for 30 days detoxing with sugar. No sugar at all. Only the fruits. And they have fructose, but it's not like it is the white sugar. And in that moment, I noticed how big was the shift. I was being more focused. I was being more aware about whenever I was not grounded or distracted about something. And that started to give me more impulsive to research and to do it. And then I started shifting for processed food. Another biggest things. Processed food is another drug for our kind of brain. And then to change that is a challenge, because nowadays with the routine that we have, oh, let me eat this, let me just doing this, and that's just easy, and it's delicious too. Let's talk about it. It's good, but everything that is good, that is combined fat and sugar, it's a drug. It's the addiction for the brain. It's the dopamine. It's the impulsiveness that we cannot control that activated that, and was the process of shifting the old habits, because the old habits were reinforcing my patterns, was reinforcing to not stay grounded, to not being focused, and to finish a task. We have a challenge of finish something that we get distracted, and okay, let me start something else, because I'm starting something else is gonna give me dopamine, because I get excited. I wanted to do it. I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to get that dopamine. And then I forgot the other thing that I was engaged with a few minutes ago. And that's how that goes for on and on and on. And to break that cycle, it's necessary to take action. It's necessary to make better decisions, and everything started with self-awareness. Okay, if I need to change my diet, I need to be committed with that, and why I'm doing this. That is another biggest answer that you need to find for yourself. Why I am shifting my diet, even it is delicious, even it is, oh my goodness, it's the best donut or the best dessert or the best whatever feels you like in that state of like, yes, that's my happiness right now. And for us, food is the challenge. I think not only for us, but everybody else. But when I found my reason, when I found my answer, why? Because I want to focus, I want to finish my tasks, and I wanted to feel the accomplishment. We all reach for a state of mind, and that is going to come in a different way. For me, it is about accomplish, about recognizing that I am capable, and that we're going to talk belief systems. And let me talk about one of the biggest belief system that you can relate it with myself. It is about the belief of being rejected. First off, because we are different. We've been tagged as, oh, you have the ADHD. You cannot focus. You cannot finish some task. It is so hard for you to be concentrated. You get distracted easily. Oh my goodness, how many tags that we have. That is stressed, because if we are not feeding on the normal, if we are not feeding what it is okay, we've been rejected. And from that, we have to deal with that belief. And not only that, why we get distracted. Because the subject that we're talking about it's not interesting for us. It's not fulfilled for our intellect. It's not giving us the dopamine that we're seeking for. And we are not seeking dopamine about what clothes you are wearing today. What is the purse that you just got it? Wow, your makeup, it's beautiful. I'm talking about like girls talking. Your makeup, it's beautiful. Wow, I need to go and buy that clothes. I need to have this. Look my nails, look my hair. That is not interesting. Not at all. That's when I identify myself towards to a man friendship, because men, they have a more interesting subject to talking about it. But this was before, until I find my tribe, that it is just like entrepreneur women. They are just striving, they are looking to add some value on people's life, because that's why that's what I like to talk. And everything else, like philosophy, metaphysics, astronomy, astrology, anything that I need to use my brain. But anyways, that's the reason that we get distracted, because the subject that we are talking, it's not interesting for us. That's why we don't feel that we are fitting in that group of people. That's why we feel that we are not part of a community. And that's why sometimes people isolated themselves, because they are feeling weird, they are feeling rejected. And whenever I understood that dynamic, especially because I suffered abandonment and rejection by my dad since my birth, I was carrying that. And not only that, whenever I start to talk about the weird subjects with people, "Hi Amanda, you're weird. Oh, you're crazy." I heard that a lot. You're crazy. Yes, I am weird, I am crazy, whatever you want to call, and I am fine with that. I am accepting myself, the way that my brain functions. And this is a gift. So please reframe the rejection that you have, that you are interacting with acceptance about who you are, about the gift that the universe, God, gave it to you, because this is beautiful. We see the world in a different way. We see the beauty. We don't operate it most of the time on the fight flight response. That's another beauty. Have you noticed that the others is just like operating on that all the time, on the survival mood? We do operate it, but sometimes it's not our primary response, because also we have that brain wave frequency that we absorb from our environment a lot. And in that when we absorb all of that, sometimes and most of the time, it's not on thoughts, it's not our own energy. That's when we need to cleanse. That's when we need to transform that energy. And that transmutation comes from our body. Because the ADHD, it's not on the mind, it's on the body. And the body, it's our vessel. It's where we just absorb the energy. And how did I get to this understanding? And really like embodying that intellectuality from my own experience, because I study a lot about metaphysics, neuroscience, and has like the spiritual meaning of it. And that was my personal journey, and everybody's gonna be different, but the reason that I'm sharing this with you, because this is my truth, right? And because that truth has a place for me to overcome my beliefs, to overcome my blocks, that makes sense to me. And I'm here sharing this with you that may be sense of you. And if it is not, that is okay. Take what you like it, leave what you don't. And coming back to the point, which it's another thing that we interface with, which is a challenge. I forgot about what I just said. My memory, how I forgot. It's the challenge, but I did not forget. It's just because I got distracted And whenever I allow myself to get distracted, it is challenge to get back to the point. However, when I am present, as I am present as in here with you right now, it's easy for me to get to the subject because I am focused on delivering this. And the rejection that I've been coping and manage with acceptance make my life flow better. And for me to take out that much how can I say, blame or criticism that I did something wrong, I just talk with the person and I say, hey, I do apologize if I for a minute forget about something, because that way I take it out of my shoulder. And then if the person just like, I don't expect anything, I just say my truth, and that make easier to navigate it with. And now talking about the rejection that we interface, we just need to reframe with acceptance. And whenever we heard somebody say something that doesn't fit or doesn't suit us, just let it go. Just, okay, this person, it's not having awareness as I do. That's the reason that they are judging, they are saying this, and just let it go. So basically, getting more in touch with ourselves, get more in touch with our body, our values, and understanding the way that our brain operates, give us so much power, give us the self-empowerment. And that's why we need to all the time sit with our thoughts. But it's just like, okay, that comes in, let me acknowledge and let it go. What is serving myself? What is serving my journey? And just allowing that dynamic to come and go, and always establish goals. Okay, how many tasks, and be real with you, can I finish today? Typically for me, I put it 3. And then I just focus and I tell myself, right? Okay, let's focus as right now. And how do I get focused? With something that I got excited, like this video. And I'm not having expectation, because once I understood that expectation was going to cause me the frustration, let it go. My intention with this is just to share what is the challenge that I interface with and how I've been overcoming that. And another technique that I invited you to do, self-talk. Ask your thoughts. Is this really real? And I'm really experienced this? And then you're going to find answers. If it doesn't suit you, let it go. Because that's the inner dialogue that we have with ourselves, and most of the time it's criticism. Don't do that with you. Don't torture yourself. Because our critical voice can be impactful, but let the higher source, the beauty, guiding you. And don't criticize you because you are that way. You get distracted easily. And for a minute you get distracted, come back to the point, come back to the source. Another exercise that helped me a lot, and I share that with my clients, that's how I coach them, breathing. The breathing is gonna get you to the present moment. It's gonna help you to stay grounded. And another technique that I invite my clients to do it is hug trees. It's walking barefoot on nature, because that grounding, that is phenomenal. Helps a lot with our body and with us to stay focused. And whenever I'm connecting my breathing through my body, through the earth, that helps. And I'm inviting you to do that. Oh, but what people is gonna think about me? They're gonna tell me that I'm crazy. I don't give, you know, because the more important thing is for me to feel good with myself. It's the accomplishment, it's the peace, it's the love, it's the flow, my dear friend. That's the flow. We need to allow the flow of our mind, of our brain, the creativity. Oh my goodness, how much creative we are. And how much we've been suppressing that creativity because we are not feeding on the others' perceptions. Let it go. Let be who you are. I'm inviting you to just be, to just embrace. And now the biggest question, how do you manage that without the medication? Simply because I never allowed myself to take that medication. Because whenever I was identifying by myself, I didn't look for the doctor to tell me that I had a limitation, but also everything comes from the mindset, right? That time I had that mindset, and I understand for people that did not have that mindset up until now, because now you have. And I'm inviting you to talk with your doctor to manage how can you get out of the Adderall, how can you get out of that medication safely. Okay, it is possible. Yes, it is possible. Oh, Amanda, how do you know you never had that experience before? Because I research, I do hypnosis, I just work with natural way of being, because we were born as a whole and complete. Why we had these information that we need to be under medication to be functional. That's one belief that somebody told me that I need to do that. And here's the thing, I am not a doctor to tell you that. I am just in here humbly sharing my experience. So please go to your doctor, talk with him about it, the ways to get out of the medication safely. Am I giving you advice? No, I'm sharing with you my personal experience. It's just a sharing, okay? So that is other ways of manage ADHD without medication? Yes. First, you need to research. First, you need to change the mindset for what makes you feel good, for what makes you feel better. Like I say, it is possible, yes. So please go and do your research, okay? And once you do and you finish that transition, please comment below. Please share this video with somebody that has been the same journey as you've been, because everything's life is possible as long as we keep the commitment, the consistency in perfect action. And another thing that I would like to talk about, consistency. How hard it is to keep consistency. And I had a really breakthrough this week about consistency. Why I was not consistent with my project, with something that I got started. Because in my childhood, whenever I was being consistent with a routine that I had it was like cleaning houses for my grandmother and cleaning the house for my grandmother. So I was consistent every day, right? Every day. However, that was not enough and good enough or perfect for my grandmother. And because it was not perfect for her perception, she punished myself, hitting myself. That's when I had the physical abuse. And in that moment, the perception that my inner child had, it was on my consistency, I am not perfect, I am not accepted, so I am not loved. That's when everything started. That's when I say I am not going to be consistent because I am not perfect. And that was a big breakthrough on my path. And since that I unfold that, things has changed. And I've been working on it, on reframing that thoughts and reframing that dynamic of it. And this is a freedom, my dear friends. You need to find the root cause. And since I've been creating consistency, and it's been a freedom. I cannot express in a word how much I've been so grateful for this pattern being breaking down and created a new habit with a new hobby, a new way of sharing this with you, and that has been beautiful. And I will share in another video how impactful has been that, because this is part of it, but I'm gonna share in another video. But it's one of the techniques, one of the way that I've been managing, coping my ADHD without medication. Now I invite you to start doing your own research, to start to question yourself, your patterns, your dynamic, what it's been feeding you, what it's been not feeding you, and how can you change that? How can you just allow a new way of being in this transitionary time of your life? And I will be more than glad to share this dynamic, to share this moment with you. Thank you so much to being here with me, to read it out, to watch this video until now, and to really stay in this path of acceptance, of embracing who you are, of loving yourself, and be playful, creative, because we are that. And because we have that gift, we can share with the world in a unique way.